Welcome, everyone. So, Etsy. I keep telling everybody, Etsy is not, something you should sneeze at. So, get it out of your head that, oh my gosh, I don't want to sell on Etsy. I don't want to sell on eBay, blah, 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 blah. This stuff really works. It does cost a little bit more because Etsy draws in their own traffic. So, people know the Etsy name. So, they come in and they're like, bam, I want something. I'm going to get it. I trust Etsy, just like you trust Amazon, and all that other jazz. So whenever you go to Etsy, as you can see, I already have it pulled up, and I just started ShadyAssShirts.com. Now, whenever I sell on Etsy, I don't just sell on Etsy. I sell on Etsy. I sell on Shopify through my .com. I sell at, many different platforms, so that way I'm found in more places. My journey actually started on eBay a million years ago. And then I, went over and I was trying to find other avenues and places to be found. And I found Etsy, and Etsy took off for us. I did 6 figures in Etsy, with hands down, no issues. I have multiple shops on Etsy. I have multiple things on eBay. I have multiple things on Shopify. I have them everywhere because I want to be found, and I don't want to have to worry about one particular, place and have all my eggs in one basket. So anyhow, I've already signed in to my shop. So I'm going to go up here on the upper right hand corner is Shop Manager. So you click on Shop Manager. And as you can tell, whenever it pops up, not much activity has happened yet because, like I said, I just started putting this together. But I want you to see inside what's going on. I think this thing is not even, maybe a week or two old. And I haven't even really done anything except for, the nice thing with Shopify is you can link your Etsy store. So everything you put on Shopify, you can sync on over if you want. If you also want to, you could put your own listings and stuff on here, and you don't have to use everything from Shopify. So, you just got to kind of keep an eye on it. But this particular store, everything I do is just going to be through Printful, and I keep saying Shopify, but Printful is what I use. Printful links to Etsy. It links to Shopify, and all that stuff. So everything I do on this one is going to be used with Printful and on over. So this here is your dashboard. And if you notice, it says good afternoon, Shady Ass Shirts, because that is which one we're in. And along the left-hand side, it has everything you need to know. The dashboard right here just shows, look, we've already got views and visits in here. On the right hand side, it tells you activity so people can favor your item, and they can also share it and take a peek at it. Then here underneath dashboards on the left hand side, you have listings, which this one right here is where you would go in and you would, if you're not using Printful, you want to use something else, or you have your own stuff to put in there, you can go into the listings dashboard. You can edit what's already there, or you can add new. So you can see some of these that I have going on right now. And the nice thing is on the front page of your shop, you have it where you can put 4 items in what they call the featured items. So they pull them up there. I only have 6 items on here right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 4 out of the 6 I just picked, and they're going to be on the dashboard. Let me show you what the shop actually looks like right here. So we put up our own banner, which I'll, fix that, but I just put something in there so it wasn't empty whenever I spoke to you guys. And then here, right here in the center, it says those 4 shirts, and those are what's going to be in there for your featured items. And then down here is where you can go in and we can put in sections, which I will in this left hand side. So I'll probably do t-shirts for men, t-shirts for women, or maybe just t-shirts and tanks and bean bags, whatever I want to do there. But everything's listed out right here. And for Etsy, their dashboard is super easy, and even the shops, to go through the shops are easy for the consumer. So that is one reason I like Etsy. And you can use PayPal, or you can use their direct checkout. With PayPal, if you already have it set up, then your funds are, almost automatic. With Etsy, if you haven't ever had a shop with them, they do hold your funds for like 3 or 4 days. I can't even remember how long now, just to make sure that you're going to fulfill the orders and that they are going to go out. But once you get going, then you'll be, golden, and you can get your money the next day. So that's pretty cool. So right here, we went into listings. Of course, whenever you hit that shop manager, it goes back to your dashboards, but we're going to go into the listings so you can take a peek inside here. And, like I said, this right here, you can go in and you'll have to edit your listings. Even if you use a company like Printful, you can see the listing by clicking on it, and then it'll pull up everything. You can have up to, I think, 10 photos now. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 photos now. And then, of course, you have a thumbnail. So the one thing that's important about Etsy is you want to make sure your pictures are crystal clear, that they are just great. You don't have to worry about clarity. You don't alter what it really looks like. And I'm doing a split test right now on, is it going to be better to show the shirts flat like this with a little bit of wrinkle in it, or, on a person. So I'm mixing up some of mine in the listings to see what gets clicked on the most. You can put in your title here, which you want to make sure it's keyword driven there. And then on this listing here, we need to put another company or person did the list or did the fulfillment. So we need to make sure that we do change that. It is a finished product and it is made to order. And then you can put your categories, and you can go in here and you can choose anything you want. So if somebody's in the search bar on just Etsy and they go, I want a drinking t-shirt. Well, I got drink up top, and then it's in the t-shirt category. So my options will be, higher will be to put out there to be selected and be seen. So the more information you put in here, it's going to be beneficial for you. Then they have renewal options. Now, every time Etsy sells your shirt or your whatever you have, something sells, it costs you 20 cents, and they can automatically renew it, or you come in and manually renew it. I always do automatic because I want to make sure that is always for sale, because it's a rotating thing that Printful always has for me, so I don't have to worry about it. But every time it sells, they relist for 20 cents to get it back up on there. No big deal. Otherwise, you see it expires. I think it's usually a 6-month listing on there, but I always do automatic. It makes it a lot easier. I don't have to worry about it. It is a physical product. You can do digital products on Etsy. So if you are a designer, a graphic designer, and you want to sell your images that you create and do it through download, you can do that. That is what's nice about Etsy, allowing you to do that, and creators actually create. So I buy a lot of digital stuff from people on Etsy and some of their designs. You just make sure you're getting the correct license when you do that. So in the description, you can change this up. You can put as much as you want in it. You can put as little as you want. All of this actually came from Printful, so I didn't have to do anything except for I just add my .com on there. I always add the .com. I also will put in links to other items, like other people preferred this item or chose this item too, and put a link to something else in the store. So that's another inside link inside the store. So that is something that I will end up doing as well. So then I have production partners on here. T-Launch is another thing, and it does integrate with Etsy. I have not used them, and I just put them in there so I can take a peek at it and see how easy it was for someone. But for this store, I use Printful. Now, you can do this to where your customers can't see who is fulfilling your orders, which is the way I have it, is on private. It just says a print shop helps me do this. but I always keep that separate. Then we have section. So this is where I told you on the front page where I would probably put everything in their own section. You can have 20 sections on Etsy. So this one, I think I'll just do t-shirts, because the other one I'll do tank tops and all that other stuff. And you can go in and you can also change those as well. On tags. Now, whenever you're using Printful, you can put in your tags in there. But if you're using Printful for, let's say Shopify and Etsy, Etsy only allows 13 tags. And of course, Shopify allows a lot more than that. So you can choose to do them on Printful, or you can come in here and you can do them in Etsy. Now, here's one thing I want to tell you. You want to make sure to use all 13. And make sure you're using the keyword finder manager thing and Google, so that way you can figure out what's being searched for and all that other stuff. You can put the materials in here if you want. So we could put cotton, because that's a cotton shirt, or with ink. You know, we can do whatever we want in there. But since I put that in the in the description, I just left it blank. But the more you put in there, the better. So that part is completely up to you. I know it says tags are optional, but tags are not optional. You need to have them on there so you can find out. Now, if you are taking care of your own inventory, this is where you would put in a SKU, so that way you can figure out what you want to do, and to keep your inventory in line and in check. Since I am using Printful, I'm not putting in any SKU numbers. The quantity is 999 because that is what they put in there. That means they have all of this always on stock. So then here we go to the prices. This is actually configured inside of Printful. I did a video earlier with this on Printful. So if you go in there, you can see where it shows how you can customize the pricing inside there. So I left it like that. I also turned off the personalization. So on this one right here, in this listing in particular, I'm not going to allow any kind of personalizing on the product. So I turned it off. Now, if you have something that somebody can put their names or initials on, you'll want to turn that on, and then they can automatically type it in. This is new to Etsy, because before they'd have to put it in the notes section whenever they were ordering their product, and a lot of times it was left off and people didn't understand, and then everything got crazy. So this is really good. Etsy's really stepped up in this manner and allowing the personalization on the main screen. With Printful, they also already figure the shipping, so you don't have to do that. So that's also great. I don't have to fill out the item weight, the item size, or any of that stuff, because Printful takes care of that for me. Now, if it's something that you were doing, let me tell you, this is a little hint. Say you have the product yourself. You are printing it, you are shipping it, and you are taking care of it from start to finish. One thing that I did notice, if you're inside the US, you can get priority mail boxes for free. So you can go on USPS.com and get the priority shipping boxes for free. And then you're already charging shipping. But the nice thing is the priority mail, one, they get it quicker. Two, it does cost like $1 or $2 more, but people didn't care about that. They got it quicker. And it had insurance already built in on it. So if the package got lost or anything and it had the tracking, it was way cheaper. Now, I did over 6 figures on Etsy. No problems whatsoever. I used that method because I saved a ton of money doing it that way. And then if a package got lost, which wasn't very often whenever it was tracked like that, they automatically had, I think it was $50 or $100 in insurance. So you need to make sure that if you are taking care of it, see if that is something that you'll want to do. Now, if it's a small trinket that will fit in a 3x5 padded envelope or something, and it's only going to cost $2, you're probably not going to use the priority mail. But for almost everything we did, 99% of everything we shipped out with our printing business, it went with priority mail. Then let's see here. So, like I said, Printful takes care of all that. After you're done, you can either preview it or you can publish it. We're going to go ahead and publish. And if I hadn't already published that, it would have said, you know, this is going to cost you 20 cents to do so. Do you want to continue? And you say yes. So we're going to view the listing on Etsy. So right here, the listing is right here. Everything pulls up. Since we had a couple colors on there, it shows that it's already done for you. And then the sizes are already done for you, so you don't have to worry about doing any of that. And then, of course, you can go right here and you can click through the pictures, which is what everybody else is going to do. It tells where it's shipped from. And then here's the description. And then it shows also the other listings, or the top 6 listings. And I only have 7 in here, so you know, it's not full right here, but it will be. And then it also says things you may like down below. And usually it starts with stuff from your shop, and then it goes into other people's stuff as well. If you notice, whenever you go in and put in the stuff for, or look at the listing, down at the bottom, it says all of the tags. So let's just say you find something on Etsy that is similar to what you're wanting to do. You can go into their listing, scroll all the way to the bottom, and see the tags they're using. So if you see something's a bestseller or a hot seller, you can write down all those tags and use those, and that will help you as well. So then, let's see here. Let's go back into the shop manager. And let's let my internet think for a minute. Okay, so then we go into conversations. Now, conversations, should somebody email me about anything, Etsy requires all conversations. If the transaction started in Etsy, you are required to finish it in Etsy. That way they get their monies and whatnot for finding that traffic for you. So it'll all be in here. Then you have the orders and shipping. What I like about the orders and shipping is, see, I haven't even been in this part right yet. What I like about it though is whenever, let's just say you're working on an item and an order comes in, it goes under the new. So let's say you finished everything up for it. You can click to go over to into a process, so that way it shows that it's processing, so you've already looked at it. So say you have 100 orders there and you can't remember which one you've already seen and helped and done. Now you can go in and you can actually put it into the processing. Of course, it doesn't show it up here because I don't have any orders just yet. Also, you get your shipping labels, and because you use Etsy, you do get a discount on it. And then the stats actually is something that's pretty cool. You can go through here and it tells you how many views are been in your store, where they came from, which is pretty cool. This is something that you, if you're hooked up to any of these, you can go into see where your traffic's coming from. Usually Etsy itself, is it in promoted listings? Is it just listings from our shop to their shop? You know, it just tells you that. And then down here, it tells you what keyword terms were used. Now, how great is that? That to me is the best. Like I said, I'm just starting to pull this through. So I have Etsy and I have Pinterest, I think, set up because I have one view on that, you know, and I have something in the Facebook stuff. So everything's starting to roll together. Your finances. You can go in here and you can set up your taxpayer ID. If you have QuickBooks for Etsy, which is a cloud-based set, you can do that. Your payment settings, so that way how you're going to pay Etsy, and then also set up your PayPal account. Marketing, this is where you really need to be. You can market your stuff through inside Etsy, through to Google. You can do your Facebook ads and all that stuff. I do not use the Facebook ads through here. Let me go back. Let me try this one more time. Okay, let's just start with this. Okay. It's not liking me today. I don't even know why. Okay, search analytics. This right here is something that has completely it just came in this year, I think, with Etsy. This is really cool because it shows where your stuff is in the listings, what is being used to pull your stuff up. So this you really, really, really want to go through because it'll help you with your keywording. Okay. Now they're still working out all the bugs from this, but once it comes up, and it's still enough to help you out. Social media, this here is something that they have done and decided to do. Let me go ahead and get started. Okay, so you can connect your pages. You can connect your Pinterest. You can connect Instagram, Twitter, your Facebook pages, all that other jazz. You can get connected so that way whenever you list, it can go straight over to your social medias. Super cool. Again, since I use Printful, I do it through Printful to my Shopify store because it is cheaper for me to get the orders through Shopify, and then I send them to social media from the Shopify. I don't use Etsy for this particular store to do that. The promoted listings are listings that you promote inside of Etsy. You can change how much you spend a day. I just turned them on so that way I had I can get some traffic coming into the store. So you notice that I had 64 clicks. It cost me $58. I made zero money. That's because I'm just trying to get people into the store to take a peek at what I have, even though I don't have but 6 listings in here. So soon you'll see where it's going to cost me $60, but I'll have generated more revenue. This is, you'll go in and you'll change this according to your needs and your wants. So I have it set really low, $5 a day, because I don't have anything really in here. You can see also the impressions, how many clicks, the cost per click, and the revenue generated, all of that. You can turn these on, you can turn these off, you can choose which ones you want to do and which ones you don't want to do, all of that. Okay, so it's all, you can tailor all of this to whatever you want and whatever you need. Definitely use the promoted listings because that's inside Etsy. So when somebody types in Etsy.com and then they say, I want a t-shirt with a funny saying, that your promoted listing could be shown if your tag words are correct for it. So you'll want to make sure that you're using that. Google Shopping, I think this set on something really small. I don't know. Maybe I don't have this one on yet. I don't. So it gives you how much you can choose, and it does all the Google. Whenever somebody goes into Google and they type in their keywords of whatever they're looking for, funny saying shirt, whatever, Google Shopping, your image and stuff will show up through there. So I have to set that up, but I'm just kind of waiting, like I said, for more stuff to be put in here. So the only thing I do while the shop is being set up is just do promoted listings inside the Etsy platform, because that puts people into my shop. It gets them to like and favor everything and possibly share it. So this, if you don't know Facebook advertising, like I said, I don't like to use outside sources for advertising because I want to be able to have that power and go into the Facebook Ads Manager to do that. And I would recommend doing the same. If you're not familiar with doing ads, then you can use this until you learn the steps. So make sure 100%, you go through Facebook to do the ads if you want to do ads on Facebook versus using the platform in here. Like I said, if you don't know how to do that, then you can use it through here. All right, so sales and coupons. So you can actually offer, discounts on items or free shipping for a certain amount of time. Etsy will go on and say, hey guys, it's, we're going to run a special for Memorial Day weekend. So anybody that offers 10% or more off of their items in their store will be seen, get priority whenever someone does a search on Etsy. So those things you'll get alerted for, and you'll probably want to do, because even though you're offering that 10% off, the traffic that comes in is amazing. Also, you can send coupons. Say somebody comes in the store, adds it to cart, and leaves, and they leave that abandoned cart. You can actually send them a coupon for the abandoned cart. So it says, oh, we noticed you left this. How about you use this coupon for 10% off, and then they buy it. Also, you can do it for favored items. So people coming in and want that favored an item in the shop, you can send them a coupon as well. So those are just some new things that they are offering. And down here it tells you how many people actually use the coupon, so you can track that, which is really cool. So the key shopping dates, this is one thing where you can actually go in here and it tells you what you need to be focused on. So you're like, right now we're focusing on, in another store, our wedding season is already in full force. So but then at Labor Day, stuff like that, but it'll show up on your dashboard too. And then custom web addresses. So right now it's like etsy.com/shop/shadyassshirts. If I wanted to hook up shadyasshirts.com on here, I could do that. But I've already got that hooked up somewhere else. Integrations. This is where you can integrate the tools, like I said, the Pinterest. There's so many you can do. Etsy Rank is really cool. So if you do Etsy, Marmalade and eRank is something you really want to use. And that kind of helps with the listings and how to improve them, so that way you can be seen. I also use QuickBooks for my bookkeeping with Etsy, which is really cool because it integrates, so it takes in all the sales, all the fees, all that stuff is already taken care of. And it was a lifesaver because, whenever I did in the other shops, I do hundreds and hundreds of orders and I couldn't figure out all the fees associated. And that QuickBooks has really helped me out. So all of this stuff is something you'll want to go through. Etsy also has a great community system here. So you got your teams that you can get on. So, sort of like Facebook groups like you're in now, and everybody's centralized and for this area, for this purpose. And you can go into teams and work together. The forums are like helps, and then there is Etsy help and, a handbook. All that stuff is in this community and help. And then settings. This is really, really, really important. Etsy actually offers, let me go back to it. I don't know why it did that. Okay, so Etsy offers the free shop, so you can set it up. There's no cost to you on the standard store. The Etsy Plus, it's what I will upgrade this shop to once I get it loaded up. It actually gives you more options whenever you're setting up your shop as far as layout and stuff. So that one right there is the one I will go for. Also, you get credits for listings and the promoted listing credits. So every month for, $5 of my promoted listing fees are credited back to me. Also, since it costs 20 cents to add a listing on Etsy, the Plus gives you 15 free. So, there's some bonuses in here for that. So you'll want to go through and see what works for you. There's no harm and no foul in going with the standard free store. So if you're running tight and you don't want to have that extra fee, you do not need it. So don't feel like you do. All right. So this stuff right here, the info and appearance, the about your shop, the options, all of that stuff is basically everything you need to do to fulfill your shop, to fill it up, so that way people know that they have a trusted person on the other side. So you'll put in your shop policies, no refunds or refunds after 30 days, or, original packaging, whatever your policies on your refunds are, all that needs to be filled out. The About You section needs to be filled out. I don't even think I have that part done on this shop yet. Let me go back in here and we'll take a peek. But all of that stuff you want to do because you want it to look like this is your full-time business. You do care about what's going on. So info and appearance. All right, so you have your shop title, which, I'll have to put in a title. That's sort of like a catchphrase or, something like that. That will need to go there. And then you can put in an order receipt banner. So whenever they make an order, it can go across the top of the page and it could be whatever your logo or something on there. If you do go to local markets, you have something crafty, you can put in there and you can put that you're going to be here, blah, blah, blah. Shop announcements. That is, say you're going to go on vacation. I'm going to go on vacation, or because some people actually shut down their shops when they do that, because if they're not there to fulfill the orders, then no one can take care of them. Other things you can do is new inventory coming, or for today and tomorrow, get 10% off by using this code. Stuff like that is what you'll want to do. Excuse me. So message to buyers would actually show up on the receipt. So you'll want to make sure if you want, we strive for 5-star reviews. If there's an issue, contact us here, stuff like that. And then you always need to make sure you hit save changes or, it doesn't save. Then the About Your Shop. Like I said, you want to fill out as much of this as you can. See, I haven't even put this in there. I'll put a picture in here. I'll put a bio in here. I'll put the roles in here. I may even put a picture of, my dog. I don't know, something. And then the story is on the next tab there, right up at the top. And you need to fill this out. Fill out why you're doing what you're doing. And just make it creative. Because once you fill this out, people can go through. You can do videos. And then you can go through here and add some images of some of your products and links to them. And then also right here is a shop link. So they can go to your Facebook. They can go to your Instagram. They can go anywhere you want them to go, and it'll be listed in there. These are great tools that you need to make sure you fill out and use. Options. All right, so with the options, like I said, you can have it to where people can see how you want it sorted. So you can do mostly recently listed, or they can do a custom sort, custom order request. So I didn't want to do any kind of custom stuff. It is what it is on there. But if you do want them to be able to do that, you can enable that. You can offer gift wrapping if you want. You have to know that you are going to be charged Etsy's fee on that, but you can go in and set up your price on that if you want to do it. Also, let's just say somebody wants to add a gift message. Say they're shipping it to a friend. You allow them to do that, or don't. It's your choice. And I always enable translation of the listings, because I sell everywhere. And do I want people to see the sold items? I generally hide these. So the only reason I hide these though is because I noticed that with our printing business, we had a ton of people trying to steal our designs and stuff. So I just hid them. And then I hit save. It's just something I do now. Then vacation mode. So if you want to go on vacation, you can. You can turn your shop off. And then if people email you, then it'll automatically reply for you. You'll have that all set up. Web analytics. This is where you would put in your Google Analytics account ID number, and it'll help trace all that for you, which is super cool. Needs to be done. And then let's just say you want to download all your information. You can download it on the order screen, and then it goes into a CSV file. And you can pick which one you want. You can do just the ordered items, the orders, the sales, you know, or just leave it like that and then pick the month and the year. And then if you decide that you don't want to be with Etsy anymore, you can close your shop from this. Let's see here. And if you have a balance due, they'll make you pay that before you do. Because I noticed, like right there, it does a billing cycle. So it did show that I had a balance due. But it, like I said, it's inside the billing cycle. And then they automatically take the fees out. All right, so we're in the tools section, I believe. Oh, no, the shipping section. So this right here, you could put in profiles if you want. But since I use Printful for everything, they already have all the shipping profiles, so I don't have to worry about it. But if you're doing your priority mail, you can put all that in there because you already know it's flat rate. It takes, you know, it doesn't even matter. So production partners, this is where you would put in, you can put in a new person in here if you want, if you have somebody that's going to fulfill the product for you. And then what do we have here? The shop engine ads. This one I always enable, and it's just to get your stuff out there some more. Okay, so I went through all the dashboard stuff for you, and then they have the sales channels here. So Etsy does offer something called Pattern now. So let's just say you don't want to do a Shopify store, but you want to have your .com. So you can go in here and you can set up your shop with your .com, and it's a $15 fee every month for the Pattern site. So people can actually find it through Pattern, and then they can find it through Etsy. And, you know, even if they find it on Pattern, it ends up going to Etsy. It just redirects to that. So it's also an option, but I use Shopify for our .com. So I'm going to go back here. And we'll let this open up. So I hope this does something for you guys. I hope this shows you that you can do anything in Etsy. You can sell in person and you can use it through there, but you really don't need to because you'll get Etsy's fees with that. I mean, if you're going to do it, all you got to do is go to Square.com, I think, or go to Walmart and you can buy the little square thing that hooks into your phone or tablet and only have those fees. So, I mean, I wouldn't do that through Etsy. But there's so much you can do with Etsy that you can do as much as you want, as little as you want. But whatever I do say you need to do is to make sure you fill out your store info 100% before going any further. Once you get it all filled, you know, and you can keep, here's a secret with Etsy. If you do a listing a day, it puts you back in the cycle because their algorithm shows that you are actively listing. So if you do anything, you know, get your store full, even if you don't have anything else to put on it, you can actually, you know, find the one that's about to go out, you know, and expire and renew that listing. So it puts you back into the realm. So that way you got a constant flow of in and outs. That'll help you in the search engines and helps inside of Etsy, and it helps you in the ranking by showing that you're constantly on there, adding new, doing more. So that's just a little secret tip of the trade there. So all right, if y'all have any other questions when it comes to Etsy, drop them in the comments below. I will definitely help you out. Etsy has been very good to me, and I know it'll be good for you all. Like I said, questions down below. If you want to buy a Shady Ass shirt, go to ShadyAssShirts.com. A little shameless plug there. Otherwise, I'll talk to you all soon.